Yeah, okay. I'll guess I'll do the intro. I didn't know if I was gonna do the intro, if
Yeah,
you were gonna
you're
do
the
the intro.
play-by-play man.
Okay, fine. I'll do the intro. Hi, everybody, and welcome to NLC Division 2. My name is Philip Slip-Rosenquist, and I'm here together with Carvis. And today we have two games where I will be casting together with you. How do you feel, Carvis?
I'm really excited. There's full Finnish representation in both of our games, so I have a ton of stuff to talk about, and we have some exciting matchups as well.
Yeah, looking forward to see these two teams for the first time. Actually, I haven't followed the NLC this much this season. This is actually my first cast this year, so I'm really excited to get started for 2024.
Well, looks like we're gonna head straight into draft, so we will have things underway for the first game of Blue Whites against G2 Hell. We will have both of the 0-4 and 0-3 teams playing today, if I remember correctly, and G2 Hell still looking for that all-important first win. I think the teams are the wrong way around. Blue Whites is on the blue side, which explains the Kalista and Rek'Sai bans. Otherwise, looking fairly standard. Karma is almost guaranteed ban on patch 14.2, where she got the insane Q base damage buffs. Also, the Varus has been seen high amounts of priority. Interested to see. Well, there goes the Ezreal that Normie has been showing us a ton lately.
So G2 gone 0-4 in the beginning of this split. What has been their biggest problem for me who hasn't seen them play?
So G2 Hell have extremely strong early game. They have good level 1 plans, they play lanes fairly well. It's just that in the mid and later stages of the game, yeah, let's go! First game of the evening. So, they get kind of stuck in the later stages of the game when it comes to macro decisions, and they get just slowly but surely out macroed by the stronger teams. So that's thankfully something that they can work on and have worked on. So excited to see what they are bringing to the table here, facing off against Blue Whites, who've been looking quite strong.
Well, from the side of G2, I know Kalthis. She was part of a charity stream that I was casting last year, and I'm a big fan of her, so it's going to be fun to see her play that ADC in the bot side.
Yeah, Kalthis has been the strong point of the team, but Sheena also having quite good performances when she gets her aggressive style junglers, got the Rek'Sai the previous time. This time around it's banned, Maokai gets locked in. This is a flex pick between support as well, so we don't know exactly where that is going, but the Nidalee, this is a specialty of Yone's in the jungle. He's probably the best Finnish Nidalee and Lee Sin player, loves those aggressive style junglers, but usually nowadays gets placed more into a utility role. Have to see which one of these he locks in. It is Tavai.
Oh, when you said best Finnish Nidalee, I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited for this. And then he locks in the vibe, but I guess that's saved for another time.
The Senna gets locked in. They're going for full range power. And Senna can be played in the support or the AD carry role. We've seen a rise of the non-thing Senna, who gets a ton more gold, buys the cheap lethality items, but doesn't get as many souls in response. So still a flex between those two roles. We don't know yet. A strong pick overall.
And you said G2 really good in the early game, and they pick up Ornn here as their last pick. What do they need to add additionally to this team to make it through this amazing early game and then take it to mid game, late game?
They need damage. They're lacking a ton of damage at the moment. Azir, while a strong carry throughout the entire game, can't really do it alone. And G2, I assume Kalthis will be put on to some sort of a not necessarily hyper carry, but something like a Kai'Sa would make sense paired up with the Maokai and the Ornn.
And the Maokai also flexible to be both support and jungle, so trying to give away.
Respect ban.
Has Kalthis played Draven this split?
I have not seen her play Draven even a single game, I think. So that is a cover your bases style. And probably going to see another strong Senna pairing banned away here. Something like a Tom Kent would make sense.
And if you look at the bot lane in Blue Whites, how have they performed in the early stages of the split?
I've been hyping up this Blue Whites bot lane quite a lot recently, just due to the fact this is an entirely Finnish team. I know all the players, and Snurmi hasn't been seen in NLC Division 2 before. And this dude, even though he doesn't play a lot, is considered somewhat of a prodigy slash insanely good player in the Finnish community. He plays all 5 roles to an incredibly high level, and AD carry is his best one. And now that Blue Whites have him, he's been outputting really good performances on Ezreal, especially. But there's the Jinx. We were expecting some sort of a high carry damage dealing champion for Countess. They're looking to play strong front to back. Your volume cut out? Okay, we're gonna be fixing that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, okay, there we go. You're back. And here's Zach.
Yeah, Zach has been one of those really, really strong top laners. What I've seen from this season so far, absolutely disgusting in solo queue, but I've seen him some competitive play as well.
Yeah, Broken Blade especially has been putting up work, if I remember my drafts correctly. So, it's likely heading to the top side, and a little sad we don't get to see the Volux specialty counter pick of Yorick come in. But this is one of the strongest top laners of the current pack. What?
Oh. Does that mean it's Senna 80 carry? Or is it...
I mean, it's gonna be Senna Zyra bot. When's the last time you've seen the Zyra in a competitive game of League of Legends?
Well, it's been a while. It has been a while. I know that the social media responsible for Swedish Online League played Zyra all the way up to Masters last season and still playing it this season as well. So it's actually crazy.
This is a draft. Janna getting locked in. This is one of the best champions to deal with Zach. You can't really engage onto a Janna backline with Zach if Colombo is awake. You have Monsoon and you have the Tornado to cancel any sort of approach coming in from Voluxa. The Vi is going to be the real problem when she goes for the backline dive.
I've seen like when people pick out the Zac for top lane, it's always been like a Nautilus or a Janna that are able to take the mid-air and cancel them out and just make it really, really difficult. Because if a Zac can't get in, I mean, it's really difficult to play that champion.
Well, this draft ended up being a lot more spicy than I initially thought. So when I was talking with some of the Finnish players, everyone's been playing quite standard recently, but Blue Whites has been the one to cook quite a bit. They already played a game of Pike, if I remember correctly, that they did end up losing, now bringing out the Zyra. So this champion has been talked about a bit recently. It's kind of a... Zyra's in a really weird spot where she's not the best support nor mid laner, but still feels okay-ish strong, like strength-wise.
I mean, it could be a comfort pick sort of thing. They just feeling it out. Maybe they tried it some in scrims and had a great result, and now they want to try it out here competitively as well. It's exciting to say the least. The only experience I have of Finnish teams being spicy is Cows from the NLC RPS, where they went absolutely crazy in every single picks and bans.
It's just that they're Norwegian.
Isn't Cows Finnish?
Nope.
What?
They are Norwegian.
Okay.
And they are.
Oh yeah, we had the all Norwegian final.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I remember
they did cook a lot, and they have kept that up. They're here in NLC Div 2, of course, so they have been showing us some cookings as well. But yeah, this is going to be incredibly interesting, at least bot lane wise. I had a small conversation here with my producer about the Zyra. No, I think this is the first Zyra pick in NLC Division 2.
Yeah, I heard something about G2, but I haven't seen any of the games, so I cannot make a statement about this.
I just double checked on my other monitor. Oh,
okay.
And I don't remember. Anyway.
Well, apparently.
We are ready to go into game 4. Well, we only have 2, so this will be the first one. And should be exciting.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Transition coming
Production.
smoothly here.
Today's one of these days, it seems.
Oh, there we go. On to the Summoner's Rift here for game 1. Today, we have Blue Whites versus G2 Hell. And G2 is still looking for that first win like we talked about. Big hype. Let's see if they can get it today.
And for level 1, we've seen G2 play incredibly aggressive when they have the chance to, but this time around, their level 1 doesn't look that strong. Columba finding the approaching squad of Blue Whites, and they instantly go for a play on the top side, finding Bomo sitting inside the brush, but they don't really have the CC to lock this Corki down.
It's a nice little handshake up there, getting some emotes here in the early stages of the game. But yeah, not enough CC, not enough damage to lock down Pomo here in the early stages of the game. So let's see what they can cook in this game.
Minions have spawned.
And vision-wise... Oh, going back to Gams for a second? Okay, seems like we have some productional issues going on. So the early game vision trade didn't really pan out for Blue Whites. They didn't get anything from the invade except for the one killed ward, and now G2 Hell has the topside vision of the jungle, so they should be at a decent advantage going into the early game, trying to figure out where they want to play with this Maokai having a ton of CC available.
And back into the game we go, I think. Yes! Fixing those problems and getting us back into the game. And it looks like Maokai starting top side, and Vi doing the same for Blue Whites.
And pathing to bot side on this new Summoner's Rift is going to be mostly the thing to do. You can clear once, get a possible fight on the bot side scuttle, and once you've finished up your second clear, you can decide which objective you want to play for, depending on the map state. If top is looking strong, you can of course go for the grubs, and early dragons are usually fairly easy to take if you have something very strong lane bully-wise, like this Senna Zyra lane.
Yeah, the Blue Whites, though, didn't have information on Sheena where she started, but they know exactly where Yon started from the side of G2 Hell. That vision difference.
It's still fairly small, taking note that the junglers should be able to read quite easily which side each other that started from, just by how the pathing works out, how the timings are looking. Maokai, very linear clear, it doesn't usually go for any sort of cheesy ganks. And it just needs a couple levels to fully be able to blow someone up with his high base damages and good amount of CC. And while we have Corki Azir in the mid lane, we're not gonna see any action over.
And we actually see Sheena going in, being a little bit too interested where Jones is at the moment, and going down to a little below half HP. Maybe Jones actually wants to contest a little bit here.
Yeah, Sheena cannot fight against the Vi, and without Shah and Kaltas and Columba rotating in, it's going to be hard to prevent this from just going through. Without the Q cooldown, though, they're gonna have a smite fight.
Yeah, a little bit of a trade. The Twisted Advance already used from Sheena, so now Shah have to do just clear damage. That sapling, a little bit of slow. And the rest of Blue Whites is trying to join up, but it looks like they have to concede this if we don't get first blood on Colombo. But it looks like... Are they going for it? Yeah, they want to try, but they're actually going to pick up CC on Sheena. Going in deep for the Maokai and clearing it out. First blood goes to Surmi, looking for Shah, getting the flash there as well. And it's a disaster for G2 Hell.
They're just too weak to fight this early on. They drafted this heavy scaling composition. Azir doesn't have levels yet. Azir doesn't have items yet. They have Jinx, Janna, bot lane, who are supposed to play defensively until they get to that level 6 mark where they have the execution power of their ultimate. But Senna, Zyra, Vi, every single one of these champions are incredibly dangerous in the early game with their range, with their HP-based damage. It's so difficult to defend against this invade, and G2 Hell should have just given the objective up.
Yeah, that's a bad wave for Kalpus. but they have to reset. No mana and no way to stay. And that could be very costly for the side of G2 Hell's bot side.
Yeah, that wave on the bot side is looking awful for G2. It's pushing towards blue-whites, and since they had to take that back, they're gonna lose a good half wave of experience at best, if not more. This is gonna let Snormi and Egetz keep pushing the advantage, and it is a fasting Senna. This Zyra is farming up a storm and will eventually start melting people who dare step too close to the plans. Ashina again has to face off against Jones in the river. We already saw how that's gonna turn out if you take an early fight against Vi, and it's just not gonna get any better for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of conceding from the side of Shina. It looks like they might want to go for the dragon to get something out of this, but they're going for Raptors instead.
This is the best case scenario. You know Jones is going to be taking the objective. Just steal away as many resources as you can. Getting both of the bot side camps, deny some golden experience that Jones would eventually be able to get, and even possibly sets up a play for the bot side dive if Columba and Caltex can set the health bars to be low enough. They don't have too much utility before Zyra is a level 6. Snormi has no summoners either, so the Senna would be a prime target to shut down.
Kalthus and Columbo looking comfortable in the bot side for first time this game, and are hovered by Shina, who looks like they want to start this dragon, and they will as well. Getting that prio and making it textbook. But we will see that Jones is bot side and curious.
And is level 5 quite powerful, but the rotation from the bot side of the map is a little bit late. They still might want to fight this.
Playing with the saplings. Let's see if they can get CC. Almost no damage at all coming out from Kalthus. And right now they're running for their lives. Homa looking for Sheena. Sheena cannot get away. Gonna get picked up. Jones looking for Kalthus. Well, last basic secures that kill and 2 additional kills for blue-white. And they will get Dragon as well.
They are just flexing their power on this bot side of the map, and Sheena struggling to find a way to play in this early game. Just constantly punished for any objective tries on this bot side of the map, whether that be in her own jungle or the dragon. And this is the type of issue you face as a jungler if you pick these passive lanes. Azir Corki, infamous for not interacting with the map in any way, shape, or form until level 6. Top lane's not gonna be of any use because it's Born against Zac. They're just quickly farming it away until it's time to come and join the team fights late in the later stages of the game. And the Janna Jinx lane, it's so safe, but can't help early on. They try to make plays, but it's not paying out just yet.
Well, a team you talked about earlier, G2 Hell being strong in the early game in the previous games, and now very, very difficult in this early game. How do you think they will be able to evolve into the game?
It's gonna be on the first item power spikes and on Shaw. Shaw on this Azir is still untouched and will be powerful enough to take down the squishies on the enemy team. The main issue is, can they peel back Jones and Bolluxa efficiently enough to keep their carries alive? The team fights are what G2 Hell have drafted this comp for, but if they
get that extra slow, extra damage, and just hunt down Kalthus, who's struggling this game.
And Sheena, now hitting level 6, is the ultimate available. A huge wave crashing down bot. They might want to try and force blue-whites away from this, but just can't find the angle. Too much vision on this bot side of the map for Sheena to properly be able to gank. While Jones, again, happily farming away, is almost 20, is over 20 CS ahead.
Yeah, that early game did not work out well for Sheena, and now ultimate's coming out, trying to look for that extra damage, trying to deny Kalthus from this farm, just keep shoving waves, but Sheena is starting to look interested in the bot side. But a lot of vision, like you said. Also Jones.
Jones is approaching. with low HP boss and level 6 on Jones, they have the cease and desist. Caltus and Colombo just have to back away. They don't have the health needed to defend against this push. Maybe if Lysia joins with a teleport, might be defendable, but it's not looking great.
No, Jones still looking comfortable considering all of that. But yeah, they just need to back up. They're sitting ducks here in bot lane. Both Colombo and Calth is really, really low. Sheena wants to pick up some of this XP and gold, will do so, but I mean, so far Blue-White's dominating bot side.
Blue-White's looking extremely confident. Stormy and Eget full control of the bot side of the map. Omo still keeping up the Shah, even has the kill for himself from the earlier fight on the blue buff. And they can just keep rotating over to the objectives. They've staggered the respawn timers, so the dragon will be up in 2 minutes while the grubs are waiting for any takers, and Jones should be able to get over there pretty quickly with Eget's rotating over. Most of the Blue-White team is there to follow up on this play.
Yeah, and during all of this, both top and mid has been very, very silent this game. Both Shah, Lysia, Luxa, and Pomo just farming away, staying really, really even throughout the game. And soon they will join as well, and we will see what impact they can have on this game.
It's just... it's hard to find any impact. It's... for G2 Hell, they have 3 scaling lanes. It's so difficult to find any sort of aggressive plays. Pomo even picking up the package here, looking for any picks possible. They don't even feel that they need the package for the dragon in a minute or so. They just want to use this for wave clear and lane priority.
Yeah, using package to pick up 3 extra minions and poking out Cha under the turret. But yeah, like you said, dragon spawning in 37 seconds. And right now it's looking like it should be impossible for G2L to even contest this objective.
And if we look at the gold, you can see that the gap is starting to increase on pretty much every single lane. Only top lane is even, but the jungle's just completely out of control.
Shoving in this way once more. This time, Sheena going through lane. But they will find nothing. It looks like Sheena all the time wants to somehow repair this bot lane. Stop the bleeding, but they are struggling to do so.
And Jones knows this. Jones constantly playing on this bot side of the map. It could look for a
Flash
season.
coming up for Eggets. Good disengage from the side of Colombo, but it looks like Sheena might still be in a sticky situation. Gets out. And that's actually a flash coming out from the side of Eggets. And now Zyra could potentially be a pick, but still, Blue-White is looking strong.
Teleport from Lysia down to the bot side of the map. I think they expected a dive to be coming, but with the jungler dead, they're perfectly happy to back from the aggressive positioning and go for the objective instead, securing a second dragon for themselves, looking for a Hextech Soul. That would be optimal for them, but it's the Hextech Dragon currently, so it's gonna be probably Infernal then would be what they're most happy with, considering they have Corki, Senna, and Zyra. RNG? Oh no! Oh no!
It's an Infernal.
Well, G2 Hell can't be happy with that one. That just increased the timer on this game by quite a bit, since Dragon is now a win condition for Blue-Whites, and they're already 4k behind as a scaling composition of 14 minutes.
Yeah, right now bot side not looking great, and unfortunately that is where Dragon is located. Yeah, it's hard to see what G2 has to do to get back into this game. Carvis, what do you think? What is the best possible way for them to play this game right now?
Hold on for dear life. That's pretty much it. As previously mentioned, 3 scaling lanes, no lane priority. You just have to play as defensive as possible, scaling up, and hope Blue-White's missteps at some point. Keep getting picks and feeding gold to Caltus. and Shaw, they're going to be the hyper carries in this game. But Blue-White so far, with their confident play, just not making too many mistakes. All the ones that they've made have gone unpunished.
Yeah, we see Sheena on bot side of the map. Might be looking for something here together with Kelsis and Colombo, and they would really need a pick here, but Pomo, Sixth Sense, will locate Sheena, and Herald easily secured to Blue-Whites.
Like, look at the vision. It's entirely blue. They don't need a Sixth Sense when they see the entire top side jungle of the enemy. Surely that means Sheena is on the bot side, Cork playing careful, just avoiding mistakes. They're gonna get the middle tower and the charge with the Herald onto the second one, and another huge influx of gold they can play with. They're gonna get their second item soon, and G2 are just desperately looking for a way to shut someone down.
Yeah, Sheena's still here on bot side, still looking for Pomo, and Pomo still playing passively.
Just gives her the thumbs up. I know you're here. Sure, they're gonna give over a tower with the objective bounty, but that's a small loss considering what they gained on the top side and in mid lane. It's so clean. These sorts of games in 15 and 16 minutes where we only had 4 kills, they're just choking G2 out at them.
I mean, they're in a situation where Lysia just has to use the ultimate to try to clear out the minions. And it's not a fun job being there alone, trying to somehow save the turrets. Sha was in a similar situation with the Herald in mid lane earlier. And right now, it is tough for G2 Hell.
Jones. Even without his team feeling quite confident, but there's no one to chase this by myth. You have a Janna. That's not an engage tool. That's just peeling support, but you can't chase down Blue-Whites with just these 2 members. You're gonna need to have Sha and Lysia rotating over and joining these fights if they want to punish Blue-Whites for overextending. But they're just taking so many resources all across the map. The topside jungle still completely cleared.
Oh, teleport coming in here. Sha is coming bot side together with Lysia, looking for Pomo. Pomo has no mana. And this could potentially be the first kill for G2 this game. Sha using ultimate, trying to get that damage, and this should just very simply be the first kill for G2. And that's great.
That's great. Did it take 17 minutes? Yes. Did they finally get it? Also yes. So, important kill to Sha. Like, Sha getting that shutdown gives them a small chunk of gold that they can eventually start to find fights with. It's just so difficult for the Azir to rotate, though. If you look at the current positioning, they're standing on a ward.
They're standing on a ward.
Now they figured that out. But what I was about to say is that with them losing the middle inner tower, Sha is constantly in vision, clearing the wave. And that way the Azir can't really find those flanks you want the Azir to find for those Shurima shuffles that can save the game. This backline of Blue-Whites, still very squishy, but has been hard to reach.
Yeah, Sheena desperately looking for some farm at the same time. Jones clearing out Sheena's bot side. They will find Veluxa, but once again, the problem is damage. And Veluxa looking so comfortable. Going for Kalthus. He doesn't even care. He goes for Kalthus. 1 versus 3, uses ultimate. Sheena's on the turret, taking a lot of damage. And then he will just step out. And Snormy adding that ultimate just to show the power of Blue-Whites this game.
Even with just magic resistance, Kalthus isn't strong enough. He's jumping in 1 versus 2, not giving a damn, just trying to defend this tower to deny the objective bounty as another dragon goes the way of Blue-Whites. 1 more, they have the Infernal Soul, and then this Corki will start blowing people up. Speaking of which, what side? I think I saw an Ornn ultimate go wide.
But so far also, Pomo playing Corki is the only one who's made a great mistake, pushing up, overextending, no mana, which opened up for the only kill for G2 Hell this game so far. And you talked about it, when they make mistakes in Blue White, it's so important for G2 Hell to punish these mistakes. And they actually did. Problem is, it happened for the first time 17 minutes into the game.
And now we're starting to hit the moment where G2's composition may be able to fight somewhat. You have the Nashor's Tooth on the Azir, you have Kaltis approaching 2 items. If this game was even, they could try to look for 5-on-5 team fights and probably win. However, Blue Whites with the triple dragons, with 6 scrubs, with a ton of gold, every single member to their name, even in a 5-on-5 situation, they may not be able to win an objective fight. They need to find some sort of a pick or catch onto a member before they try and force an aggressive play.
Reset here on Jones, setting up some vision here in the top side river. And it's very difficult for G2 Hell to get any information at all. They're just using saplings. That's the only way for them to actually move further in on the map right now.
Yeah. It's one of these games. It's one of these games. I can't really say much. Like, as casters, we're supposed to be entertaining, but there's literally not anything exciting going on at the moment. You just see efficient macro from both of the teams, with Blue Whites just dominating it from the early game onwards.
If you were standing next to me, we could do rock, paper, scissors or something.
True.
But right now, we are a couple miles apart, I would say.
Interesting you chose miles, considering we're European and casting
Fine.
NLC.
Countries. Let's measure in countries. Jones actually getting knocked up here, but gonna get out comfortably. Still not that much damage coming from the side of G2 Hell, considering the situation. So Jones still looking comfortable and will step up and maybe try.
Again, looks like Blue Whites is trying to set up some sort of Baron vision to force G2's hand to approach. But with the dragon up in 2 minutes, I don't think they even have to do this. They can play for the upcoming Dragon Soul and then force the fight.
Yeah. Right now, bad vision. Sheena has saplings, could potentially throw them out just to be able to get some kind of comfort in their own top side. But at this point, is it even their top side? And Twisted Advance goes a bit far. Ultimate popping out. They're looking for Jones. Jones taking a lot of damage, but it is gonna get out. Ulti from Lysia, just hitting on Veluxa, who is very, very tanky. And that results to absolutely nothing.
There's no damage. There's no damage. It's I can't find an English word for it, and it's not exactly disappointing, but it is a little bit sad to see a possible catch onto the enemy jungler who is extended underneath the tower, but you just cannot physically kill the Vi.
Yeah, right now it's coming up. The last dragon, 52 seconds. And this is the sole point for Blue Whites. And they will have to force something now in G2 and hope that they can get a pick, or perhaps even the dragon.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Up in 30 seconds, G2 Hell approaching. Still don't have the... Okay, I guess Lysia's HP pool is completely gone now. And they still miss the critical engaging ultimates that they used on the top side of the map. No Ornithorn nor Brambles from Sheena available. Blue Whites will just aggressively move towards the enemy jungle once again. And with Teleport coming in, they can keep zoning G2 Hell off of this objective.
Oh, Pomo picked up package. They know it's serious now. They really want this soul. Last package used for minions. This package used for soul. And they just have to respect that. Maybe they want to trade something, but they don't have the damage to clear out a Baron or anything. They just need to... They can just watch. That's all that's happening right now.
And Blue Whites may have called G2 Hell here.
Yeah, Sheena in a bad situation. Just gonna get picked out very easily. And the damage from Eggets is insane. Colombo running around, knows the fate is written in stone. Will be chased down. Might take longer than expected, but it's hard for me to see that a great escape from this Janna will be able to happen. We'll join up with Sha, but Sha is more like, why are you leading them towards me? But they're gonna take Baron instead.
Yeah, I mean, why chase the enemy? Never mind. They're gonna kill G2 Hell and take the back apparently. Shaw now stuck underneath the tower, but Corky's there to DPS the Azir down. They get some gold from the objective bounty. They lose 2 of the members, including the Baron. It's This game is just absolutely blue-white's domination all the way through. G2 just cannot make a play.
And even when they do, they don't have the damage to execute it. So right now, looking really, really dark. Baron buff, Infernal Soul. Everything that's missing is that Nexus, and they will start looking for it.
And it's mostly down to execution now. Once again, G2 Hell has the tools to punish overextensions from blue-white. They just have to hope for some sort of a mistake. We already saw it once on the top side of the map where Jones went a little bit too deep underneath the tower. Then they didn't have the damage to finish the pick off. But now they just might. With the Infinity Edge finish onto Countess, with the Void Staff finish onto Shaw. If there is a pick to be had at 5, they can do it. But oh my god, that rocket!
That's a lot of damage. Veluxa pushing mid at the same time. Baron minions doing work at the same time. Pomo gets, and now Jones as well joining up inside of the base, looking for Sheena. Sheena gonna get picked out easily. 4 members left. Lysia using ultimate, trying to find something. Good damage coming out to Jones, actually popping off that flash. But it looks like the final siege coming out from the side of Blue Eyes. G2 just watching. Cannot do anything. Pomo still looking for that damage, and Shah has to flash away. Veluxa joining as well. Last turret falling there. And Blue White's now trying to pick up every single kill. They don't even care. Finishing up the Nexus. And we will see a finish win. And G2 will still be looking for their first win.
That has to be one of the most brutal games we've seen yet in NLC Division 2. That was a... I felt like I was watching something I shouldn't be watching.
Whatever do you mean, Carlos?
G2 just couldn't do anything. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't. It's not up there. You could feel it on the caster desk, how you see the opponents making these plays, taking away all the resources on the map, and you can't do anything but just sit still or watch, because if you approach, you will die.
Yeah, it was really rough to see. But well played to Blue Whites. Let's not take anything away from them. They did an absolute banger of a game and showed just how strong they are at this split. G2 has some things to work on, I guess.
They do. But we're going to have to talk about that later, because we have an interview coming in after a short break. We'll be right back once we have set that up.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to NLC Division 2, where we have an interview with Snurmi. Do I pronounce that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Well,
Snurmy, yes, but
Snurmi. Okay, perfect. And we saw an absolute domination from Blue Whites here against G2 Hell. Will you take us through the Zyra and Senna picks? You usually play ADC, and now you went down to the fasting Senna, and it worked out great for you guys.
yeah. I mean, Senna is just really good in the meta right now, and as expected, the enemies banned the really OP stuff like Karma and Ezreal, and but then they left the Senna open. But then we also saw that Corki was open, and the enemies had been playing it, and we have been enjoying it quite a bit. So we just went for that first, and then we thought that we do have Senna counter pick, so that's why we didn't hit the first pick it. But then, it was still open on 2-3, then we just decided to go for it. And then the Zyra was just like a counter pick versus the enemy champions. Like, it looked really good. So it just went well with that.
Yeah, it definitely went well. That was one of the most brutal games of League of Legends I've seen in a while. Just you guys just kind of choked G2 Hell out. How was the team comms around that game, like playing against 3 scaling lanes?
Yeah, I mean, overall the game felt pretty weird because it felt like we shouldn't be so strong. I guess we had winning lanes, so that's good, and then we had a Vi versus Makai, which is really good. But it felt like we just got everything on the map for free. Like, we didn't really need to fight for it. The enemies just gave it to us. So it kind of was no stress, and we just took everything we got for free. And then, I mean, enemy had some really big scaling, but obviously you don't get to that point if you don't fight for any objectives in the early game. And we also had good scaling with our team comp versus there, and then we had Senna, so I had a lot of souls. So it was a pretty chill game, I would say. I'm pretty sure that's what it looked like too. So
it was one of those games on the caster desk where you just think what am I supposed to say here? We've just been farming for a good 15 minutes or so. Something I wanted to ask you though, in specific, you have mostly been around the Finnish scene with Epic Avalanche and affiliated members. This is the first time we see you on the NLC 2 stage actually playing competitive League of Legends at a decently high level. How has it been for you transitioning into this environment again?
Actually, before EA, I played in Kova Esports, which played in NLC Division 1 when it was the Tele and Telemasters times. We played in Division 1. Yeah, I mean, after that, actually at that time too, I've always had a full-time job, so I've just been playing on the side and just playing for fun. But I mean, I played from season 1, so I played this game quite a lot. So I guess I'm decent. But it's been really fun to play again, because I had a half-year break, and before that I played in some kind of Finnish tournament. So I haven't really played really competitive league in a while. So it's been pretty refreshing, even though I feel I don't have a lot of time to play. Scrims have been pretty narrow, 1 to 2 per week. So we haven't had a lot of time to play, but I feel we've done really well, even though we haven't played that much.
Sounds perfect. And after such a convincing win, I have to ask, how do you feel about your next games coming up? How do you feel about the season? How do you think you guys will perform?
Well, I feel confident. The game against Rich Gang felt a bit tough, but I feel that was mostly because of the draft and the champs they played. We weren't really ready for that. So, I mean, we were ready, but then in the game we realized that we weren't really ready. So that can happen. But I feel really confident, and I trust in my team, and I think we've shown a good showing so far, and we'll continue to do so.
Well, amazing. Congratulations for the win today, and good luck for the rest of the season. And we will go to a short break and come back later with another game coming up here in NLC Division 2.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NLC Division 2. My name is Sleeper, and I'm here together with Carvit, and it's time for the second and last game of the day, Rich Gang versus Unique.
And if you had a nice time watching the Finnish team win the previous one, we have more Finns for you on Rich Gang, 2 of them, in fact. So I'm happy to cast these games, and it's another one of these top dog versus team trying to make a comeback matchups with Rich Gang, who are currently 4-1 in the standings, ranked number 1, facing off against Unique, who have had another rough patch, currently 0-3. So hoping that, to get a win, but against Rich Gang, it could prove to be quite difficult.
Yeah, it's always difficult, and I think mentally also very, very difficult going into games where you know the other team has performed very well throughout the season, and you guys haven't been able to find those really good games, and you somehow need to break that pattern against a team that has been so successful. Like sometimes the good team underestimates the team that's been a bit more bumpy, but let's see if Unique can put up a fight and maybe even pick up their first win of this season.
Yeah. They do have a way to fight against Rich Gang, though. This roster that Rich Gang has put together have shown to play quite an interesting style of League of Legends that mainly comes from the 2 Finns, with Fruity Fresh and Stumpy both sporting quite an interesting pool of champions that they like to play, with mages down on the bot side of the map and things like Maokai up in the top lane. So there are ways you can attack this style, and I want to say, can Unique adapt their own gameplay to match up against Rich Gang?
And I have to ask, does Fruity Fresh still play ASOL bot lane?
Oh yes, and not only Asol, he also plays Hui and Swain. So,
Yeah, I remember that Swain as well. That was nasty. That was banned out a lot. Yeah, this man, he's an interesting player to say the least, Fruity Fresh. It's gonna be fun to see him.
it is so much fun to watch a little bit unconventional style of playing bot lane, but they do make it work on Rich Gang. And Unique, from a quick look, have also cooked a little bit themselves with their jungler picking up Dr. Mundo in their previous game against Ryze. It didn't pan out, but it's still otherwise fairly standard League of Legends that they're playing, with aggressive jungle, carry, engage bot side, and usually a weak side top, with Udyr and Ornn being the main picks. So that sort of style may have some trouble against Rich Gang, but if they instead choose to go for something like Lucian Milio to push the advantage on the bot side of the map, then they can start challenging.
Yeah, last game we saw dominating a bot side from the side of Blue Whites, and this game I think bot side will be very interesting as well. And we will see if Unique has some kind of thing down their pocket to go against Pretty Fresh and put him back on his seat, or if he will play around with some mages down there and have an absolute blast for their 6th game this season.
Seems like we have a small delay due to some technical difficulties with Tournament Realm for the players, so we have a bit of time to kill Sleeper here. As you said, you haven't been following the NLC for this season, but it's been an absolute insane season so far, with the level being way higher than expected. You already saw Blue Whites, how they performed against G2 Hell. Rich Gang is putting up similar performances. We have 42 Gaming with a surprisingly strong roster, 3-1 in the standings. We have Fourth Wall and Garden Gaming, both 3-1 in the standings currently. And something to bring up from Fourth Wall, I want to see your reaction to this. Do you know who Warrior is?
Oh, I want to say that I do, but I do not.
Warrior is a high challenger jungler who currently plays on Fourth Wall. He is also Chinese.
Oh.
And he's currently playing from China.
That's amazing.
On 200 ping, they are 3-1.
I mean, that's just great. I mean, that's respect right there. The guy is like, I don't care if I have 200 ping, I can probably dominate NLC Division 2. And yeah, so far looking good.
Yeah, not only that, we have a ton of insanely good players, especially the AD carry and mid lane role are, in my opinion, the most stacked. We have people like Hat-Tricks showing up in the mid lane for this NLC Division 2 season. We have AD carries like, well, we have Certified Random coming back. We have Namex on Rise. We have, we have Snurmi from the finishing, obviously less known in that environment. We have Chrissy. We have so many good AD carries.
And I mean, just the fact that G2, the organization, has come to NLC Division 2 is amazing. They have had a hard time, as I saw the last game, but just the fact that they are here and ready to play makes it amazing to be a part of NLC Division 2.
And look, from what I can hear, we are going into draft for Rich Gang versus Unique. Seems like the teams and the players are a little bit messed up still. We'll be fixing that shortly. But the bands already going through knock. Oh, TF ban. So is this Rich Gang on blue side? I'm pretty sure the TF ban has been mostly towards Unique. That would make sense. Okay. I assume everything's correct?
We're about to find out, I guess. So we will try.
Okay, there we go.
Okay,
We get the confirmation from production. So this makes sense. Nocturne and Zinjao, the aggressive junglers banned away, and TF as well. Unique's mid lane, extremely proficient. Wow! How is Karma open? What have you done?
What have you done? Ezreal is also open, actually, after the first banning phase. So, very different bans this game. But let's see what they can cook up.
So there's still a lot of priority picks open. Things like the Varus, things like Maokai. Ari getting locked in this early is also quite odd. Haven't seen Ari in a while, but she is fairly good in the mid lane with the Malignance Rush build. Gets a ton of mileage out of that item. And is, as she has used to be, a decently
there we go.
good blind mid, but this just really gives over the Karma Israel over the Rich Gang.
I mean, it's so open, they have to go for it, right? But surely Unique has to have a plan that they know that Ezreal and Karma will be locked in because they skipped those bans, and now they need to have some kind of plan for that, right?
Yeah, and here's the Vi, just to make sure the enemy don't have any ways to get it. Ezreal hates playing against that champion. Is pretty good with her as well, able to follow up from really far away with that ultimate. And now with the Karma, if this is going on the bot side of the map, we don't know yet. This could be top, this could be mid as well. But if it's paired up with Ezreal, it's a strong, high-range lane boot lane.
Sante picked up for Unique, and we go into the second ban phase. And then I think Rich Gang will ban out Varus, right? They will not leave it open for Unique.
Probably yes. Azir gets taken out. For the champion pool of Sumi, I'd expect a Yone ban to come in, so they don't have to deal with additional backline dive to be paired up with Vi. Ari can lane pretty well into that matchup, but I'm more worried about the late game implications that pick might bring. And Rich Gang already focusing the sports slot heavily, trying to get everything that can provide things for a possible hyper carry out of the pool. Milio heavily focusing on the Lucian style lane, for example. Bard.
There we go.
But they don't think this Karma is in the support.
Do you think this Karma is in the support role?
I do think that this is a support Karma with paired up with Ezreal, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sumi or Stumpy brings it to the lane. The Karma can do extremely well against both of these characters that Unique have picked for themselves. So,
yeah, that's
the Varus ban. Huh. Okay,
yes, Senna. Yeah, she's still open.
a good lock-in for sure. We already saw the power that this pick brings, and you can play it or regular farm. Against Ezreal Karma, though, I don't know. Now hovering the Yone I was so worried about. I think Rich Gang is going to lock this one in.
Yeah, well, you predicted it. Yone not banned out, and Rich Gang will be the team to not pick it up.
Really? Instead, opting for the Orianna ball carrier for the buy. Bring a ton more utility and a more stable matchup into the Ahri.
Oh.
This is a Stumpy special.
Hovering a lot of champions.
Stumpy has a weird champion pool, as a reminder. He could even bring out the Heimerdinger if he wanted to.
Well, let's see if he does.
It's gonna be the Urgot. Oh man. So, Urgot, one of the few champions that can just absolutely hammer Cassante in lane. Just, if you ever see Cassante press W, you can pretty much time your own E and get a free engage in, and even buffer out of some of the CC. Like if you see the knock-up flying towards you, you just press E and you fly in the air.
Well, Tahm Kench Senna. That is something I played a lot with my friend earlier. I think it was 2 seasons ago when it was really popular and got a lot of LP with that comp in bot lane. But how will it go up against Ezreal Karma?
That is actually a pretty good question. I'm not too familiar with the lane matchups featuring the new items, but Senna does have a good all-in angle against Ezreal Karma. If they ever catch someone out, they should be able to out-DPS them in a prolonged teamfight with Tahm Kench tanking most of the Mystic shots for his AD carry. The main struggle is going to be against the range and the Karma, who can just bully this Tahm Kench in lane. Just constantly farm extra mantra queues off of him and get additional income from the support item. Won't need to be sharing too many minions in this lane.
But they have decent sustain. Tahm Kench with his shield and health regen, and Senna with the healing. They could potentially stay in lane for quite a while, and Karma Ezreal will then have a problem poking them out of lane, and they will just keep harvesting souls, building up for later phases of the game and making it easier for themselves to win this one. But I must say I like what I see from the side of Rich Gang, and they look good.
I'm just looking at the draft again. I think the main issue that Unique are going to face is the damage department, with this Senna most likely being a fasting Senna and Ahri being their other main damage dealer. They're gonna... They need to find a pick onto a squishy, because otherwise the extended team fights may not work out for them. They have a ton of frontline, but the backline needs to get a couple of items and scale up from there.
Well, let's see how they will perform. Unique looking for their first win of the season, whilst Rich Gang having a flow, just enjoying the season so far, and they want to secure another win here in their 6th game of the season. On to Summoner's Rift. Let's see how they perform.
And we get confirmation that it's indeed the fasting Senna having the support item, and another rush towards the bot side of the map from Rich Gang. Feel that they have the level 1 advantage. Not sure what they're going to go for the picks with. They don't have any sorts of hooks. They don't really have any catch potential there. Instead, just forcing out the Senna from the brush with the Orianna ball, making sure that Unique are high on their toes, looking out for any sorts of it.
Yeah, a calm early first minute from both sides. And no deep word coming out from Synapse, even though there's information that almost everyone is on the bot side of the map. So they will start on a clean slate. Both teams not knowing exactly where the enemy jungler will start.
This game will be heavily impacted by how the lanes of the first 3 levels go. We already saw it in the previous game, Blue White's G2 Hell, that this jungle matchup is heavily favored for Vi. Maokai cannot contest almost at all a possible invade with priority coming from the bot side of the map with the same jungle start as we see here. And Urgot is able to push in Cassante fairly easily. Orianna should be able to establish lane priority in the mid lane fairly easily. This bot lane is where we want to look.
Yeah, we actually see exactly,
Oh.
and we have some internet issues here, but it's this exact same jungle matchup that we saw last game, and Vi won the last one, and now it's up to Galop to show us that Maokai can do just as well as Vi can.
And level 2 advantage, already hopping in, getting some poke. As you said in the draft, this lane does have fairly good sustain, so it will take a little bit more to get the poke to stick. But for the priority, it looks like it is a good advantage for Fruity Fresh and Greg for at least some time. Rhoda, though, not choosing to go for the blue side invade, as we saw in the previous game, just taking all of his camps and playing for the scuttle is what I've been guessing.
I mean, it's only level 2, and it already looks like this catfish is quite chunky. So we will get a little taste of what it will look like later in the game. Will be difficult to kill Kanhue later.
The Kanhue coming in. You're the first caster to pronounce it properly, I think, on this stream.
Well, I'm Swedish, you know, I'm Swedish, so I have to.
It's just a nice breath of fresh air after all the UK lads coming in. We may have a fight over the scuttle though.
Oh, good charm coming up from I've never said his name in English. KVW. That's a tongue twister.
AVW. it is.
KVW.
I think that's how it goes.
Yeah. I actually saw him play in the Swedish Online League before, so I know what he can do if he gets some resources.
And on the top side, Synapse so far doing quite well. Urgot, one of those characters that really wants at least one item before he starts completely dominating a lane, but Vi may have something to say about that.
Has to disengage on the top side and we'll just reset, and Synapse will know that because of that perfectly placed ward. Well played to you.
And the Burnish Ghost, though, was a little bit too far up on the lane. Stumpy expending his flash to get that engage, so missed opportunity on the top side of the map. Now, a punish window for both junglers in the future if they find someone overextended. Gallop enjoying a small tempo advantage even though he got double scuttled. He is clearing efficiently. And we have another fairly standard quiet early game ends.
Yeah, 14 souls on Senna, first reset. And that will just become more and more annoying for Fruity Fresh and Greg. So right now I think Holmberg is quite comfortable and quite happy with the early game.
Holmberg is... as long as the Senna Kench don't get completely shafted when it comes to Kench's farm, they are doing extremely well. The Karma Israel, though, will start spiking very quickly. Karma will be, considering the draft, going for the Malignance build to basically become a secondary AP carry for the team. Fruity Fresh is the one who needs a little bit of time to scale. That is made up by this Karma's insane first item power spike. Unique though, feeling that they could commit to this dragon.
Well, that would be good for them, slowing the game down by 5 minutes. Rhoda is down here together with Greg. They look like they want to contest. Sumi is pushing KBW forward, and we see that Broda goes in deep. Has to flash out now. Galop looks like going down as the first blood does so as well. Sumi in bad situation and will go down as well. 1 for 1. Broda still attacking the dragon. Unique looking for ways back into the river. Broda, no flash available. They could go for the easy kill here on Vi. Will have to do so as well. Looking for Greg running around, trying to get away. As Fruity Fresh looks for the kill on KBW, gets it as well. CC coming out from the side of Kankwe, and Holmberg, together with his support, is doing work. Greg will let Holmberg die to the dragon. Kanche will try to zone out Greg as much as possible together with Galop, but they will probably just have to disengage. And what a fight in the early stages of the game. 3 for 3 and no dragon kill.
That fight took so long. Gallop managed to respawn and run all the way back to almost kill Greg. And the dragon sadly reset, so Unique couldn't take the 1k easy thanks for the leash objective. Instead, they revert back to the normal jungle clear, wait for everyone to respawn, while Broda, one of the first ones to die, is already on the grubs taking the secondary objective.
But spicy enough, we can see Holmberg picked up 3 kills in that fight and already has a noon quiver, so this Senna has started to become quite strong. And this is something you are looking for if you are a fan of Unique.
Yes, Holmberg will be easily making up for the damage profile with this additional gold that he got from the fight. On the other side, though, the Karma also getting a nice influx of gold, accelerating towards that Malignance, where Greg will start to become a huge problem.
Oh, well played from Holmberg. Getting in on Greg. No flash available and will just take a lot of damage. Kanche actually looking like he wants more, but has to back off as Fruity Fresh marks. This is my support. Do not touch him.
And this is the strength of the Senna Kench lane. In an extended fight against the Karma Ezreal, they are able to brute force the engages. If even one Mantra Q gets dodged, they have a good chance of winning a skirmish 2-on-2.
Yeah, top island, doing top island stuff. As Dragon is still alive. Right now, Galop is on the bot side together with Broda. And both teams will be looking for this objective since we no longer have the Voidlings up.
There's another Shockwave primed and ready for Sumi.
Ultimate coming out from Galop. KBW wants to join this fight as well. Galop tanking out a lot of damage. Broda going in. Double ultimate coming out. The Shockwave doing a lot of damage. And Galop will just fall. Kanche together with Holmberg might want to try something here, but they will be there too late. And it's a great pick from the side of Rich Gang.
And doesn't really get punished at all. The Ahri is not strong enough yet to one-tap either Sumi nor Broda. So, a pretty free kill coming out for Rich Gang. But the Dragon still stands tall, need the team able to approach due to the bot lane volatility. Gonna need some assistance down there to swing it properly to one side.
Well, still, it will be difficult for them to find a kill on Holmberg because of the Tahm Kench. So let's see if they can get in on them.
Broda's already down there. Like, Broda's hopping into the Dragon Pit. Gallop is nearby, but
yeah,
the flash is lacking. If Broda isn't careful, the collapse comes quite fast from 3 members of Unique. Trying to establish lane priority with Fruity just swinging on the minions.
There will come out. CC as well. Galop, no ultimate, used it earlier, but a lot of damage coming out on Broda. Broda will fall really fast. Never mind, somehow stays alive. Galop flashing forward, trying to look for this kill. And gets it eventually. Fruity Fresh wants this kill as well, cannot get it. Galop together with Holmberg in a bad situation. Holmberg, the hope for Unique falls as well. And that is a collectively 3 kills for Rich Gang. And now they could potentially look for the Dragon as Broda respawns.
Unique, unfortunate case of tunnel vision in that fight. They really wanted to get the pick on Broda, who escaped on such low HP. They kind of forgot that, hey, Rich Gang has their bot lane here as well. Just free swinging into the Maokai and friends. So many Mystic shots, so many Mantra Qs landed that they get chunked out as they take out Broda. With 1 kill traded over for 3. It's not a nice one if you are hoping for Unique to make a comeback in this game. But good thing is, Holmberg got enough gold to get the Storm Razor. KVW had a Malignance. They finally reached that 4k-ish gold breakpoint where you start to get the first line of power spikes. However, on Rich Gang, a fairly similar situation.
Yeah. But well played to Broda, staying alive. He even convinced me that he was dead, stays alive, and then the greed takes over for Unique and punishes them. And it looks like potentially 6 uncontested for the side of Rich Gang, as Dragon now goes potentially to Unique. I mean, this Dragon has stayed alive for a very long time. Pretty fresh together with Greg now stepping up. Shockwave just hitting KVW. And Broda missing that Q, and this time he surely is dead. Yes, he is. And Gallop securing the Dragon. Pretty fresh together with Greg are stepping up a bit much here as Gallop hits Twisted Advance into KVW. They're looking for this Ezreal. He is cooking a lot, but not enough. And he is dead. Greg getting the slow into Twisted Advance from Gallop. KVW will be there to add additional damage as he gets eaten by a catfish and
and a ton of good kills over to the important carries. KVW and Holmberg both getting a nice chunk of gold and the objective out of it. So just an overall really nice punish for the overextension. Rich Gang tried to get some sort of sandwich going, but with Broda missing the Vault Breaker, he's just too far up. No way Sumi can support his jungler. No way the bot lane can participate in the fight safely. They are suddenly in a 3 versus 4 and just lose out. However, Broda, again, after dying, just walks up to the grubs and they secure all 6.
Yeah, 6 more grubs. That's a lot of pressure on turrets for Unique. But 5 kills now on Holmberg, and he steps out, takes a lot of damage. Almost goes down immediately. Greg flashing forward, hitting that Q, and will secure the kill. Well played, Fruity Fresh and Greg not getting a... They're not afraid of anything. They don't care he has 5 kills. They know what they can do, and they perform it perfectly.
Karma getting the support item finally gives enough of a power spike that if they avoid Gansha, they can just straight up kill the Senna with no Tomkin's ultimate to save.
But now
Holmberg.
we see KVW coming from the side. Kanche wants to step up as well, but he is low. Fruity Fresh might just as well just go for him single-handedly. Greg trying to stay alive for the teleport that comes out from Sumi. KVW using his mobility, trying to stay alive for as long as possible, and cannot even be picked off. Sumi using the teleport just to save Fruity Fresh.
Yeah,
but
and they're looking for more with Holmberg running.
Ooh, Shockwave, but the charm hitting from KVW. Holmberg going forward, trying to hit some damage as well. I mean, they both used the Uno reverse card on each other, and somehow they all stay alive.
Even though Unique get the defensive win on the bot side play, on the top side of the map, I think Stumpy took out the entire tower of Synapse somehow, getting all the first tower gold, and Broda got the Herald. So now Unique has to somehow get that play working again, since there is a Herald most likely going to be running at the mid lane tower in a couple of minutes.
Well, I'm really hyped to see what Stumpy can do in this Ergon as well. Top lane Island, like we talked about earlier, is just doing the same old, but Turret is gone in top side, now in bot side as well. And I know that these Voidlings will be a big part of the push this game.
It will. it will come once Rich Gang starts sieging up. For now, they're perfectly happy just to form up and try to get their key items, play for the objectives that are spawning pretty staggered. But once this Ezreal Karma rotates over to the mid lane and starts auto-attacking this tower, if Unique doesn't have the wave clear to push back, the tower is going to take considerably more damage.
Both teams flanking. KVW from the side of Unique and Broda from the side of Rich Gang. They're all looking for something. Ultimate misses from Fruity Fresh. Stepping up now, and now we will see Broda try something, but cannot see, then you cannot kill.
Here's the Herald. Can't make their way in as there's a blight coming
from the side of Gumpy. And it's an Eden Broda underneath the turret that will still be standing for some reason, helping them in the fight. Falls now as Synapse and a four-man shockwave coming up from the side of Sumi. And now Fruity Fresh together with Stumpy will try to look for the kills, but it's good snare coming up from the side of Holmberg. But what a play from Sumi, putting Unique on their bottom, and they cannot fight back.
That didn't feel like a one-for-one trade. That's what it was. Sure, Rich Gang gets a tower as well, but Unique get away from that huge shockwave alive for the most part. Fear Beyond Death managed to grab Synapse from the midst of it, and they could be in time to play for the second dragon as Greg and Fruity are trying to clear the vision out. Gallop is there in time to start setting up slacklings and setting up space for the rest of the team to arrive.
Only Fruity Fresh with ulti available for this potential dragon fight. From the side of Rich Gang. No ultimates except for Gallop coming up now from the side of Unique.
Got still down on the bot side of the map. Unique fully grouped. Just playing the vision wall around this choke point. Difficult to approach with Greg throwing out Karma. Mantra Q.
Holmberg going down to 400 HP from that burst.
That's exactly what they need to be careful of. And with their main carry gone that has the 5 kills, they may just have to give up this dragon.
It looks like it. 5 members going for the dragon, and there's nothing they can do. First dragon picked up, and it's an Infernal, and we will know that Ocean Soul will be played in this game.
Ocean is always fun. What is not fun though is if for Rich Gang they now have to play for these dragons. If Unique get a Ocean Soul with 3 Ocean Dragons, all of this poke coming in from Fruity Fresh and Greg will all for naught. The survivability increases so much they only need a couple of hits to regen most of the incoming poke, and that's gonna be easy to get as a Senna in the later stage of the game due to all those souls increasing your range on your Q and your auto attacks.
How many stacks do we have on Holberg right now?
2. So the range is already there. Just it hasn't reached the ridiculous levels.
No, but we will get there. And when we do, it will be interesting to see how Rich Gang responds. They have a Vi, they can get in deep, and they have that insane poke that we saw earlier that can bring down Holmberg to a situation where he cannot fight and has to reset.
And just due to the fact that neither one of these teams have a strong split pusher, neither of these teams have a siege composition that can easily take on towers.
Flash from Stumpy.
This is the situation that we're in. Both teams are just holding off these side waves, pushing them in one after another as they look for any sort of opportunity to apparently start up the Baron. I guess this is the play from Rich Gang. It gets spotted out by the
Maybe
blue
they want to
trinket.
force the teleport from KVW, but he does not answer to the bluff. He stays calm. Stays bot lane. Broda. Oh, I thought they were gonna look for a pick there on Galop, but I think Kanchi will just eat him up and get him out. And they need that ultimate for Holmberg.
Just a weird situation that Unique have found themselves in, as Rich Gang apparently has DPS to start up the Baron. Again, they have to go for the approach.
Yeah, they're bluffing once again. Broda looking for Holmberg, getting in on him with the shockwave, somehow still alive, and Broda the one to fall. Galop coming in with twisted advance from the side, looking for Sumi, cannot get him. KVW wants to find something as well. Synapse also looking hungry. Broda is dead, no jungler available for Rich Gang. As KVW moves forward, not hitting the charm, and Kanche has to eat him up, get him out. Good hit from Pretty Fresh.
Saved Ari, had cancelled.
Oh, Galop going in deep with twisted advance. Very alone though, but it looks like Synapse knows how to knock back. And now Stumpy looking the next target for Unique. And they pick up 3 picks. But now they're getting really low as Pretty Fresh is moving forward together with Greg.
KVW back?
Yeah, he used teleport to get back, but instantly poked by Greg. And this bot lane has been so important from the side of Rich Gang.
Unique feeling strong, fighting into Rich Gang. They don't have the damage to break through their front line, so Holmberg and KVW get to play pretty much for free. And Rich Gang just really forcing the engage with Broda so far away from the rest of the team. Sure, they get the shockwave combo, but it's not even close to being enough to delete a key target from Unique. So they just get a free kill onto the buy and get to 4 versus 5 at the upcoming Baron Siege. It really does pay off with, again, important kills going over to the carries. Ari now on 2 items, feeling extremely good. And
Or Dragon this game. Oh, I think you...
cut out?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Anyway, what I was about to say is that with the Urgot ultimate, they want to get a revenge pick onto Synapse. It got prevented by Kanche eating him up, just cancelling the ultimate entirely.
Rich Gang taking over bot side river first. Dragon spawning in 8 seconds. Poke coming out from Sumi. Potential poke from Greg and Pretty Fresh as well. Right now, very difficult for them to enter river, but they have Galop's ultimate if they want to try to do something here. Kanche stepping up, and the ultimate for Galop coming out here. Let's see if they can find a target. Broda will be hit, but no follow-up so far. Synapse together with Galop, trying to do damage. Shockwave coming out from Sumi once again, hitting 3 people. Kanche has to eat him up. Synapse alone against 4 members of Rich Gang, as Stumpy does his best and will fall. Synapse will fall as well. Now we have a 1 in kills, 2,900 HP on the Dragon. KVW stuck on the other side of the wall as Galop is in river and takes the Dragon as well. KVW coming in on Sumi, but they trade kills. Galop going back in. Holmberg looking like he's having a feast, having the time of his life. This Senna can shoot away as much as he likes. Kanche somehow staying alive against Pretty Fresh, uses flash in the last second, and this is a good play from the side of Unique.
This fight is so long, so extended. Neither team having the damage to break through the meatballs that Unique and Rich Gang are feeling on the front lines. But the Urgot never got to play with his team. Gets picked off on the sidelines as Synapse was holding off the rest of Rich Gang. And after that, once the Urgot is gone, there's just no front line for Rich Gang to play with. Broda's not tanky enough, has fallen quite a bit behind due to all of those deaths. And Orianna, Ezreal, Karma trio in that sort of Dragon Pit environment just cannot kite backwards well enough.
Broda being picked out a lot in the last fight. And Galop performing really well. Last game we saw the Vi was the more unstoppable force. In this game, I have to say Maokai is looking very strong.
Indeed so. The additional utility, so valuable in this sort of game where the opponents are highly mobile. Galop just finding good ways to enter the back line. Good ultimate angles as well to kick off the fights with. Just needs to keep it up as we head to the later stage of the game, and this Ezreal gets ever so slightly more dangerous.
Let's see what they can do. 3-item power spike now for Fruity Fresh. And Kanche, together with the team, trying to set up some kind of vision here as Broda just walks forward to clear it out.
And even though Unique has been winning recent fights, they still feel on the back foot, playing very carefully around their own jungle, respecting Rich Gang and their pick potential with the buy. And Stumpy kind of recognizing he has to be on the side lane, keep some pressure up, because if he can't find a way into those fights with Broda, following his dive up, it's just better for the Rich Gang side to have the Cassandra away.
Right now, really difficult for Unique to get information, but they have the saplings. So Galop could potentially give them that extra information. And somehow, top island moved to bot lane island as Synapse and Stumpy keeps just
I've seen this
trading
before.
Let's see if they can go for Baron this time. Blue Trinket will spot him out, but they don't care. 9,000 HP. And they're still going for it. KVW on the other side of the wall. Holmberg together with Countcrab moving back. Shockwave hit on Galop, and Kanche just eats him up. And Broda once again gets picked off. No smite available now on the side of Rich Gang, and it's good root coming out. Kanche going in deep. Stumpy is behind them as Holmberg shoots down Sumi. He cannot trade back. And Stumpy is looking for Galop. Galop a bit deep now. Shield coming up from the side of Holmberg as he gets pulled in by Stumpy. And they get the pick they need. No smite available for Unique either.
All over extension from Gallop may lose the chance to get the Baron, but instead, in a minute, Dragon is spawning. Unique wants to get this middle outer tower and then set up for the objective. A really, really nice turnaround once again, peeling away the buy engage, get the eat off from Kanche, and then they turn the entire fight around. Just really, really good peel back coming out from the Unique composition that just feels like it's working. They are not letting Rich Gang play the fight as they want to. Instead, Holmberg and KVW are getting just completely untouched team fights for themselves to play.
Dragon spawning in 5 seconds as Rich Gang are first to take over River, and we see Broda looking for a pick. But he learned his lesson. He knows it's more difficult than that to actually get the pick. Pretty fresh, starting Dragon, doing a lot of damage. It looks like they're just gonna trade mid-turret for it. They know they cannot get in that way. Even though Galop has ultimate available, they will not try to go for it. Baron is the objective to look for here. Galop using his ultimate now, maybe looking for something here on the bot side. Broda gets picked off again. Galop is so deep, he doesn't even care. Takes a lot of damage. Shockwave comes out from Somi, but it's not a lot of damage. It's not enough. Broda still stays alive. And now we see Stumpy doing a lot of work here in the backline, and it actually looks like Unique might have bit off more than they can chew as Fruity Fresh hits his ultimate. Kanche and Holmberg is kiting, doing a lot of damage on the back end. Galop trying to walk up again, but in the end, it looks like Rich Gang actually finds the fight they were looking for.
It doesn't feel like there should be only one kill per side coming into these fights, but frontline and sustain is so damn strong for both teams. The squishiest frontlining members, that is Broda and Synapse, just fall, and then it's a kiting war. CC outplaying for both teams. They just chased each other around like Wile E. Coyote chasing a roadrunner, just never able to take each other out. And it's going to take an objective for these teams to finally crack each other down.
How many souls do we have on Holmberg now? We need to follow this throughout the game. 130.
130.
Yeah. The Senna will just get more and more scary throughout the game. But Fruity Fresh also looking fresh this game.
It is an 80 carry off. Sure, Sumi and KVW have had insane plays during these fights, but Fruity Fresh and Holmberg are the main damage dealers that are putting in huge amounts of work, whether that be through positioning or just picks and auto attacks that they can find onto key targets. It's all these 80 carries to make sure everything works out. As again, map rotation, looking and feeling a little odd with Urgot not being able to put enough pressure onto towers for his team to go for the Baron. But it's also forcing Synapse to respond to it, keeping the K'Sante secondary frontliner out of a possible 4-on-4 engage.
I love how neither of these teams have been able to kill Baron. They cannot establish control enough. I think Rich Gang has started it like 4 times, but no Baron after 32 minutes, even though both teams really, really want it.
There's just not enough DPS. They don't have those auto-attacking hyper carries like Jinx, like Kai'Sa. Even Kalista would be able to easily pop a Baron in 30 minutes into the game. Instead, they have Ezreal and Senna, who boast great deals of range, great deals of singular hit damage, but they aren't rapidly dishing it out.
Now, Lord Dominic's picked up here by Holmberg, getting that additional damage. And once again, just vision cleared out topside river. Baron control is everything this game, and Dragon somehow responding in 1 minute. It feels like Dragon was just 30 seconds ago, but nothing happened on the map since then.
We're 33 minutes into this game, Sleeper. Like, this is going to be a slugfest to the end. If every single Dragon feels like the respawn timer is at least 2 minutes, because there's just a time period in between where nothing else is happening but farming and trying to reach another item power spike. There's a limited amount of those, however. So with the
shockwave hitting, but Holmberg staying alive and fight bot lane between Stumpy and Synapse, but they're not gonna commit to that either, because why would they? They're top laners. Commitment is not their strongest side.
A small little jump scare for Holmberg. But he's able to heal quickly through all of that damage that was dealt. And now Sumi doesn't have the shockwave for another good 20 seconds or so. With the Dragon already respawning, if Unique can force a fight here, they could have a nice advantage with Rich Gang using that key ultimate.
Oh, Gallop flashing forward on Fruity Fresh using ultimate as well. But he gets out nicely. But will maybe get knocked off, no flash coming out, and he even emotes after the flash. Broda now in a bad situation, gets charmed up. Stumpy coming from the backside, Synapse doing work as well. They're looking for Sumi, and Synapse will fall. Never mind, Kanche still having his ultimate. And Broda now looking like the next target. Look at Holmberg, he's not even touched this fight. They can still play through their Senna. No ultimate on Kanche though. So can they get in on Holmberg? They could potentially kill him. And teleport coming back from Synapse. Stay left throughout that fight. Going back in now. Greg trying to get away. Will do so as well. Stumpy gets the kill on Kanche, but that doesn't matter because Dragon is picked up by Unique. And Stumpy is killed as well. Unique somehow finds the fight.
Dawning Shadow able to get Stumpy even after the flash, and Unique finally get a fight where more than one member dies. Baron is what they are aiming for. Teleport available for Sumi though, so if Rich Gang are fast enough, if Unique lacks the damage, never mind, they're dealing quite a bit surprisingly. They should be able to secure this before Rich Gang makes it, and this could be the turnaround we've been waiting for this entire time.
Ultimate coming from Fruity Fresh, but it's too late. And Unique picks up Baron power play for the first time this game. We had to wait 36 minutes, but all you Unique fans out there, you can now sit back and relax as they pick up the first Baron.
11-3-10. Holmberg Senna is looking like a monster. 158 souls, about to reach level 16. Just a monstrous thing to deal with this late into the game. Even with Fruity Fresh having the 4 items, he cannot break through front line that Unique has. And the scaling feels like they have reached a break point where Unique's carries are stronger on a straight up 5-on-5 fight.
Yeah, Holmberg having the game and the time of his life right now. I mean, when you have a support like Kanshi next to you, you know they will not be able to commit. But KVW stepping up here. Stumpy is available in the bush. We'll try to look for something here, but it's an easy turret picked up for KVW, and these Baron minions are doing work.
Still, the rest of Unique can't find a way to another pick or another push. Just trying to play the macro clean, clear out the inner towers first. You see Synapse already heading to the top side to set up the wave as the entirety of the bot side jungle is out of Rich Gang's control. And Broda, it just feels like this vibe. 1, 9, and 6 just hasn't had too much of an impact. They don't have enough follow-up and dive potential to get picks with this champion.
Holmberg standing a mile away as he shoots that turret. Galop using ultimate and will get a double root, but no follow-up from the side of Unique.
Oh! Holmberg takes a huge chunk of damage, but look at this heal, 218. He needs like 2 Qs and he's back to full HP. So even with Rich Gang having the poke from the Ezreal and Karma, they just cannot make it stick anymore. And if this dragon that comes up in a minute and a half goes over to Unique, they're gonna have the soul additionally to provide extra regen to the entire team. And that is a dreadful situation for the Rich Gang team.
I mean, just look at Unique's vision on bot side jungle right now. It's insane. Dragon spawning in 1 minute and they know absolutely everything on the side of Rich Gang's bot side.
Gallop's ultimate is already up, by the way. Just has so much ability haste, level 3 ultimate. Even though he used it to peel on the top side of the map, he is ready to go again. If any members of Rich Gang are out of position, the Brambles will be approaching.
They will get their red buff at least. 44 seconds and potential soul for Unique. All control to Unique. Rich Gang has to make a move. Question is, what will that move be?
Hopefully towards the dragon. Sumi.
Oh, Galop coming from the side using his ultimate a bit wide, but it hits. Sumi alone uses Shockwave to try to get out. Cannot do so as Holmberg does a billion damage. Stumpy next target for Holmberg. But KVW, they want to pick it up. Look at the follow-up. And now another charm coming up from KVW. And Holmberg picking up a kill on Fruity Fresh. Greg falling down. Broda, last man standing, gets eaten by a catfish. And Unique looks like they will find their first win of the season.
Unique powering through Rich Gang in this final fight, not taking any damage whatsoever on the approach and march to victory. It took them a good 40 minutes, but the win has been taken and they are looking to turn their season around.
I mean, wow. Rich Gang being 4-1, looking so strong this season. Unique coming in without a win and picks it up. And they look really, really comfortable doing so as well.
Yeah, this is a complete turnaround from Unique's earlier season, looking extremely confident. Even though their early game was a little bit rough, they eventually found a win condition, scaled up, played the whether that be through Urgot ultimates or incoming skill shots. The Tom Kench Senna lane completely destroyed this game.
Yeah, we will take a short break, and when we get back, we will have an interview for you guys. Be right back.
Looks like my mic is acting up if I keep.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to NLC Division 2, where Unique has just taken their first victory of the season. Here for an interview, we have Galop from the side of Unique. Galop, how does it feel to get the first W of the season?
Zero free. It's pretty rough, but we're definitely gonna start. We are on the come up now. I think teams have to start fearing us. We're gonna beat everyone now.
Well, this game definitely a huge turnaround from you guys when it came to team composition. We're on 14.2, and Karma's such a huge powerhouse, and you let it go through this entire draft. What did you guys plan around this? That you want to get this huge meatball composition just to tank the karma, or what was the idea behind this?
Yeah, I mean, we just read them. I mean, we were talking about different scenarios, and I was calling for the brand ban and Lilia because I didn't want to play. We wanted to play Maokai, but I didn't want to play Maokai versus Lilia or Brand because I would just get shit on. So so they were going. We want to ban Karma. Well, we can't ban Karma if we will leave the others open. So we'll just let them first pick Karma, and then we prepared for that.
Yeah, the preparation came in clutch. You especially, I think, out of all the members on Unique, are known for cooking a little bit. We saw the Mundo pick come
Yeah.
out earlier on. Is this like usually we think of Rich Yang and the other teams in the NLC who are known more for cooking these off-meta picks. Are you looking to bring out more of these Mundo style picks, or was it
Yeah,
just like one-off attempt?
we will definitely play Mundo again if it's if it's an option. Right now, I'm wearing the Dr. Mundo hoodie. Like I'm a true believer in the Mundo. We'll play it again.
Well, getting your first W. Is this the turnaround? Is this the rise of Unique? Will you guys keep rolling forward now?
Yeah, I'm confident we'll start taking some more wins.
That sounds great. And for all the Unique fans out there, they're probably hyped up for the rest of the season. Thank you so much for the interview, Galop. And
Yeah.
once again, congrats on the win. Here from the NLC Division 2, we will start checking out. But what an amazing 2 games, right, Corvus?
Yeah, it was short, but it was incredibly entertaining. First game, a little bit of a stomp. Let's just be real here. But the second game definitely paid off. Again, huge congratulations, both Blue Whites and Unique, for picking up those wins. We will be back on Tuesday for hopefully quite a few more of these similar style games.
Well, amazing as always. And thank you to everybody viewing from home. Take care, and we'll see you on Tuesday.